Live on I Love CVille. Let me know which ones are live on your end. You got the mic in front of you? Volume on?
LinkedIn is live.
Okay, fantastic.
Sure the others. They're getting there.
YouTube is up and running. All right, viewers and listeners, we're going to rock and roll on the show. It's the Monday edition of the I Love CVille show. Back in the saddle, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic program lined up for you. If you're watching on any of the platforms, like the show, share the show. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button now. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search the I Love CVille Network, ladies and gentlemen, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. A lot we're going to cover on the broadcast today. We encourage you, the viewer and listener, to like and share the show. We have a bankruptcy filing for Klockner Pentaplast, the German-based plastic film manufacturer that employs 400 people in Louisa County, Gordonsville.
You know, I worked there once.
You did?
Yeah, very briefly.
What led you to work there?
It was a temp job.
Oh, fantastic. Why'd you stop working there?
Because it was insane.
Insanely good or insanely bad?
It was a 12-hour shift starting at like 7 o'clock at night.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, it was very brutal.
So you basically were Dracula.
Was what?
Dracula.
Dracula, yeah.
You worked 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.?
Yeah, and that was, and a blizzard started in the middle of my shift, so getting home was a bit hairy.
So what did you do?
Went home and slept.
And then quit?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about that story on the program. We're going to talk about they're facing bankruptcy. They employ 400 people in Gordonsville. Right now, those 400 people are safe as the company is saying there's not going to be layoffs. I believe that talk when I see it. There's restructuring, and that's what they're going through now, and restructuring often translates to layoffs, but time will tell, viewers and listeners. Jude, are we up and running on the key Facebook pages?
Most of them.
What are we not up and running on?
We're not up on the group or the switchboard.
Okay. Not
Getting
sure.
them up now.
Okay, we're up and running on my page. Vanessa Parkhill, thank you for liking and sharing the show. Viewers and listeners, take a look at the headlines for today's topic matter. We are live on I Love CVille Facebook, J-Dubs?
Should be.
Fantastic. Like and share the show, viewers and listeners. It's good to be back in the saddle on a Monday in downtown Charlottesville. We are not live. We are live on I Love CVille Facebook. Fantastic. You got us live on the group there, J-Dubs.
Getting there.
Okay, Jeremy Wilson in Eastern Tennessee, thank you for watching the broadcast. Viewers and listeners, hammer that like button. We work hard for you. That's the only thing I ask in return is you hammer the like button today on what is going to be a dynamic program. Ladies and gentlemen, I Love CVille Food is live. Excellent work there, J-Dubs. Judah Wickower rising to the occasion. I need the group live, and then viewers and listeners, we can rock and roll. Give me a thumbs up when that I Love CVille group is live. We got like 5,000 or 6,000 people on that group. I want them to see and feel and hear your very white baritone voice, Judah Wickower. He's got a LL Bean zip down on today. He is very excited to be back at work right off the holidays. I'm ready to rock and roll, man. I'm feeling fired up. Like and share the show. Viewers and listeners, we're going to talk Virginia and the Who's hammering the Hokies. What a game, what a game, what a game. Judah Wickower, we're ready to rock and roll?
Just about.
All right. YouTube, hammer that like button for us on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hammer the like button. We work hard for you. It's the only thing we ask in return. All right, we can rock and roll when you're ready there, J-Dubs. The Market Street cam is out and running. Count the cars as they go by. One of the reasons we're in downtown Charlottesville is because of that visibility. We're working on a deal right now to bring more visibility for businesses in downtown Charlottesville. Judah, let's rock and roll. You got the group up?
Just about.
Okay, been saying that for a couple minutes now.
It's up.
All right, let's do it.
Quiet on the set.
Good Monday afternoon, guys. I'm Jerry Miller, and thank you kindly for joining us on the I Love CVille show. It's great to connect with you on a Monday in downtown Charlottesville, a brisk, chilly Monday, but goodness gracious, my soul is warm. What a weekend for Wahoo fans as the University of Virginia and Tony Elliott skinned, hammered, pummeled, embarrassed, destroyed, demoralized, downright beat up the Virginia Tech Hokies at Scott Stadium. The University of Virginia and head coach Tony Elliott, from outhouse to penthouse in the ACC championship, where the Wahoos will face a beleaguered Duke Blue Devil football team who sneak their way into the ACC championship in Charlotte. We'll talk about Virginia getting an impressive victory on national television in what was not even much of a contest. A stark contrast in talent between these two teams, how the mighty have fallen and how the weak have become mighty. So much to cover on today's broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. We will discuss on the program Klockner Penoplast in Louisa County, the town of Gordonsville, filing for bankruptcy. 400 employees work at this Gordonsville headquarters. Right now, the international company is saying these 400 Gordovidians, Louisa Countyans, are safe from an employment standpoint. Time will tell. I want to talk a message that was passed on to me. Ginny Who, if you're watching the program, tip of the cap to you for putting this on my radar, Ginny Who. In fact, I'm going to give you a little tip of the cap with a reaction on Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Rose Restaurant in Stanton has announced their surprised closing. 78 years in business, Miss Rose in Stanton has put a picture of a letter on their Facebook page that they are closing for good on Christmas Eve. This is an icon, an institution in food and beverage in Stanton. Also adding dynamic to this story, the employees found out about the impending closure with the social media post as well. We're going to talk about that on today's program. I'll give you a little tidbit for your cocktail and charcuterie party, the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, the Charlottesville and Albemarle County area is home to more than 700 nonprofits. Tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, and more than 700 of the nonprofits in the Charlottesville and Albemarle County area are asking you for financial support. That's insane. I'm going to ask this question again. What is the most competitive category of business in Charlottesville, Albemarle, and Central Virginia? I've often said it's restaurants, and the subcategory is coffee shops. I've alluded to it being real estate agents or realtors. There's realtors on every corner in this community. But goodness gracious, it might be nonprofits, 700 plus of them. We'll talk about that on today's program. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have a conversation I think I'm going to catch some heat for this. I don't mind catching the heat from the Charlottesville subreddit. Reasons why Redditors on the Charlottesville subreddit have listed for moving away from Charlottesville. Some of these reasons may surprise you. I was included in one of those reasons why they've chosen to move away from Charlottesville. We're going to have some fun on today's program. Judah Wickower, I'd love to give some love to Charlottesville Sanitary Supply. Locally owned and operated, 61 plus years in business. John Vermillion and Andrew Vermillion. The Vermillion family have lived in Albemarle County for 5 generations. They have owned and operated Charlottesville Sanitary Supply for 3 generations. They have a fantastic online website, e-commerce platform, charlottesvillesanitarysupply.com. Miele Vacuums, the best vacuums in the business. Your family should be using these vacuums, ladies and gentlemen. The exclusive carrier of Miele Vacuums, the Vermillions at Charlottesville Sanitary Supply. They would make a fantastic Christmas gift. Support the businesses that make this community better, and Charlottesville Sanitary Supply is certainly one of them. Judah Wickower, we're going to put headline number 7 on screen first, and thank Holly Foster. I'm going to weave you in with a 2-shot. Holly Foster, I hope you're watching this program. You are a delight. I genuinely enjoy your support of this program, the comments that you offer on our show, Holly Foster. You are a phenomenal human being, Holly Foster. I ran into her on Wednesday evening. Our oldest son was with me. Holly, my oldest son and I spent about 25 minutes catching up about the holidays, family, plans, the show, comings and goings in the community. She is extremely intelligent, Holly Foster, a retired businesswoman, a proud Virginian, someone who enjoys the finer things in life, including time at the spa at Keswick and at the Boar's Head. She gifted Judah Wickower and I this wonderful bottle of Macallan 12. Scotch whiskey, absolutely delightful. Macallan 12, probably my favorite Scotch. Judah Wickower, Holly Foster, an incredible gift for you and I and the I Love CVille bar, my friend. Thank you, Holly Foster.
Delightful. Thank you, Holly Foster.
One of the best drinks I've ever had. I'm going to put it in perspective. The Queen of Henrico.
Yeah.
Holly Foster, you're truly a gem. Thank you so much. All right, Judah Wickower, I weave you into the broadcast as James Watson, Georgia Gilmer, Bob Yarborough, Aaron Moody, Betsy Nugent, Colleen Tyler, Jason Noble are watching the program. Which headline intrigues you the most and why, Judah Wickower?
I think it's fun reading all these interesting ideas for interesting reasons why people left Charlottesville. But there's a lot of good in our subjects today.
This is the reasons the Charlottesville subreddit have offered for moving away from Charlottesville?
Yep.
Oh, I cannot wait to get to the geniuses on the IQ scale, the Charlottesville subredditors, on the Monday edition of the I Love CVille show. First, we're going to talk about the Wahoos hammering Virginia. Did you happen, Judah Wickower, to catch the game on Saturday night on national TV? I know you didn't go there.
I did not.
It was an ESPN broadcasted game. You did not watch the game?
No.
Okay. Did you hear that Virginia football beat Virginia Tech?
Yeah.
In dominant fashion, my friend.
Yeah.
It was from start to finish an ass whooping of the finest variety for Wahoo Nation. Entering this contest, Virginia Tech had won 19 of 20 contests and 23 of the last 25 games.
Wow.
And Virginia on Saturday night made an emphatic statement, ladies and gentlemen, against in-state rival Virginia Tech, showing the world the talent gap between these two programs and how the mighty have fallen and how the weak have become mighty. Now, Virginia fans, we have to be worried slightly because James Franklin is taking the head coaching job, has taken the head coaching job for Virginia Tech football. That's next year. He's already tantalizing and romanticizing recruits from Penn State, his former employer, to Blacksburg. But at this point, we can revel, we can celebrate, we can drink the Kool-Aid, we can have the Macallan 12 from Holly Foster because Virginia is going dancing in the ACC championship, and they will have a matchup against the Duke Blue Devils. Yes, it's difficult to beat a team twice in the season, but I don't know about you, Wahoo fans. I would much rather have faced Duke in the ACC championship than the SMU Ponies, the SMU Mustangs, who literally wet the bed against the Cal Golden Bears on Saturday evening in a West Coast matchup. I watched the UVA game, I watched the Cal game, and I cannot be more excited for what's ahead for Tony Elliott and his University of Virginia football team. Should they beat Duke, ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday in another nationally televised game, ladies and gentlemen, should Tony Elliott and Virginia beat the Devils for the second time this season, they will make the college football playoff. They will be in the biggest stages of football. And this is the definition, Jeremy Hu. This is the definition, Jeff Bibb, of Tony Elliott going from outhouse to penthouse. And it also shows you what money can do for a football team. Virginia has got deep pockets, an abundance of billionaire alumni. We can think of a few just at the top of our head. This football team is backed by a nearly $30 million salary. You heard that correct. This roster compensated $30 million, the players alone, just a shade under the 30 threshold. Okay? You keep winning, you get more funding, more money in the coffers, more talent like Chandler Morris, who's playing out a $1.3 million contract. Now, we watch Virginia and see if they can take the next step into a premier powerhouse football team by beating Duke. They're, depending on where you shop, a 2 or 3 point favorite. I'm surprised the margin's not greater, but the contest is Saturday night in Charlotte, and it's a big one. It's a big one not just for Wahoo fans. It's a big one not just for the athletic department. It's a big one not just for the university. But when you start having a college football power in Charlottesville, it's going to drive the economy. It's going to drive housing. It's going to drive jobs. It'll drive home values. It'll drive incremental economic growth. This has a significant impact on hotels, on food and beverage, on restaurants, on retail, on rents. When the football team is playing 7 home games a year, ladies and gentlemen, when the football team is dominating and fans are not just going to home games, but going out to restaurants to watch them on television, it drives rents up for restaurants. It drives the values of the restaurants, the buildings that they're in, the values of the restaurants themselves. This has as significant as an impact as you can think of on the local economy. And if you don't believe me, listen to what happened with Virginia Tech when Michael Vick took the Hokies to the national championship some 20 years ago. Heck, it might have been even longer than that, 25 years ago. When Michael Vick took the Hokies to the national championship when they lost to Florida State in the national championship game, applications to go to Virginia Tech the very next year were an all-time high for Virginia Tech. Never underestimate the impact of football, America's sport, on the local level, its various business sectors, and the overall chutzpah and spirit of a community and fan base. And all I got to say is this, Judah Wickhauer. Wahoo wah, baby.
Wahoo wah.
Wahoo wah. Next headline. Put it on screen. Let the viewers and listeners know what the headline is.
Klockner Penoplast in Louisa County files for bankruptcy.
Curtis Shaver, if it was still open, I'd be watching the game with you right now at Peloton Station. Effing love Curtis Shaver. Put his photo on screen. You tell me where we're watching that game, Curtis Shaver. We'll put the Bambinos on ice and go out to a watering hole. And by the Bambinos on ice, I mean pay $25 an hour for a babysitter. Actually, I think it's about $20 an hour. Philip Dow's watching the program. Can't understand why Duke is playing in the ACC championship compared to the others who have a better record. Tiebreakers, Philip Dow. Tiebreakers. It's a wild world we live in. Tiebreakers, my friend. Now let's get to a little bit of demoralizing news. God, I love that picture of Curtis. It makes me happy every time you put it on screen. It sincerely does. Klockner Penoplast is a German-based plastic film manufacturer. No, Judah, they are not making plastic Barbie dolls. No, Judah, they are not putting plastic in women. No, Judah, that's not what they do. They are a German-based plastic film manufacturer, and they employ 400 people in the Gordonsville area. They are filing for bankruptcy. Judah, they have filed for bankruptcy. And as of now, you have 2 lower thirds that you could rotate on screen. As of now, the parent company says those 400 people, as you rotate those lower thirds, are safe with their job status and will be repositioned to other headquarters within the company. This is a restructuring. The company filed to restructure roughly $1.5 billion with a B in debt at a federal courthouse in Texas last month. Per the company's plan outlined in a statement announcing the filing, ownership will transition to certain of KP's financial partners. The company says it will do this process swiftly and quickly. This is a pretty big deal. There's not many employers in Gordonsville that employ 400 people. Yeah. One of the other larger employers in this area, Paul Manning, PBM, is a large employer there. Craig Hartman, Barbecue Exchange and his divisions, a large employer. The Barbecue Godfather is a large employer in that market. But losing a company that employs 400 people, that has headquarters in Argentina, Belarus, Brazil, Canada, China, the Czech Republic, Egypt, India, Italy, Jersey, Mexico, Poland, Portugal, Russia, Switzerland, Thailand, Turkey, and United Arab Emirates. Was giving you an easy one right there for you, Judah. Is a point of concern.
Yeah.
Okay? No, it's a point of concern. You hope and your fingers are crossed that the 400 keep their job. You hope. But what a company says out of one side of its mouth is often very different at what it says at the other side of its mouth after the news cycle has shifted its attention away from its bankruptcy filing.
Yeah.
Now, Judah Wickhauer's got an anecdote of his time as an employee at this company. And goodness gracious, it's a good thing that you transitioned to the Miller Organization away from international conglomerate Klockner Penoplast.
No doubt. It was a.
He says it with such excitement over there.
It was a brutal, definitely a brutal night at Klockner Pentaplast. And if you
Wait, how long did you work there? One night?
One night.
You quit after one night?
It was a temp job.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize it was a temp job.
Yeah.
So your temp job, the extent of your temp job was one shift?
I was working at a book packing plant in Gordonsville.
Which one was that? What is a book packing plant?
It's like a warehouse with all different kinds of books. There's a conveyor belt, and all I remember is pulling books and putting them in boxes, and eventually they get shipped off to people. So
That's
I
like
get a call.
a Ford assembly line.
I get a call in the middle of a shift at the book packing plant asking if I wanted to work at Klockner Penoplast. But because the shift was going to start that evening and they needed someone, they're going to let me go home early, get some rest, and try it out. It paid a little bit more, but as I mentioned, it's a 12-hour shift.
Okay, 12-hour shift's not bad.
Oh,
Shift work's not bad. You had the gravy shift, right?
7 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning.
7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I mean, madre chico.
So I drove home from Gordonsville, took a nap, drove back out there. Oh, and
You have the Camry at the time? Were you driving the Camry?
No, I had a white Nissan pickup truck.
Okay. Judah Wickhauer in a white Nissan pickup truck, flannel button-down, cardigan on, denim jeans on, going to his 12-hour shift. Go ahead.
You're going to love this next part.
He just worked a double at the book packing plant.
No, those were regular shifts, like morning to evening. Anyways, best part, you're going to love this. I get a call like right as I'm getting home saying, "Oh, we forgot to mention, you've got to take a drug test when you get there."
Okay, so what'd you use? You use Curtis Shaver's urine to pass the test?
I just drank
Go ahead.
I just drank like 8 glasses of water, chug some water down, get there at 7 o'clock, get taken back to the little wherever they it's like a, what would you call it, like a not a hospital,
A lab corp. You did the drug test at a lab corp.
It's a big business, and they
the Klockner Penoplast, their headquarters.
This is just the warehouse where they did the work.
Okay.
And so this is like a crap. What do you call it? Like a little medical station. And so there's this lady there who apparently drove in just to give me this test. And so I go and I take the cup and I bring it back, and we're chatting. And she goes, "So is there any chance that you're not going to pass this?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's a chance."
That's what you said to her? And what did she say?
I mean, I figured at that point it didn't matter. So she shrugged and continued with the test, and I passed it. So I worked a 12-hour shift, and it's so long, and you're in this, you're indoors, and I could see out some windows occasionally, like when I went on break, and it's like pouring down snow.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't even know if I can get home. So shift ends. We're like, everybody's outside in the snow, and the shift leader comes up to me and he's like, "Hey," basically said, "I know this is brutal." He's like, if you can't make it back tomorrow, I understand." I'm like, "All right, I'm not coming back."
And you quit on the spot.
So then I drove home, like very slowly. Because, it was a literal blizzard.
What year was this? Circa what? You've worked here 16 years.
This is probably early. This is probably 2003.
Circa
maybe?
2003, 22 years ago, Judah's ripping bong hits, packing books in a
Not
box,
quite,
doing an assembly
but,
line, and then taking a temp job at a plastic facility where he's driving his white Nissan, his denim shirt, his cardigan, his denim pants on. and he's going to a German-based international Klockner Pentaplast headquarters in Gordonsville in his Nissan. Did it have four-wheel drive?
No.
You work a shift, 12 hours. Did you get paid?
I get paid.
There was no direct deposit then.
There's no direct deposit in 2003?
Was there direct deposit in 2003?
I'm sure there was.
2003, I was working at the Daily Progress. I was picking up the checks in the newsroom every Friday. Did you get the money from that 12-hour shift, Judah?
Oh, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But, man, when they say, what was it? What did they say? Plastic something or other? It was like Mylar. It was like miles of Mylar sheets, like 5-6 feet tall on gigantic spools, and oh man, it was crazy.
Now you're living the good life.
I went home and slept for like a day, and at some point, I get a call from the temp agency, and this lady was like livid with me because I hadn't called the temp agency.
Okay.
I just went home and slept.
Okay. And she's like, "Why didn't you show up to work?"
Yeah, why don't you show up to work or call us? And I'm just like, I told the shift leader. He asked me if I was going to be back. I said no. And man, she's like, well, we're not gonna be able to put you at anywhere for work anymore. I'm like, okay, bye. And
that was your rite of passage.
And then they called me back the next day asking if I could go back to the book packing plant.
And that was your rite of passage, and now you're living the good life as the host, co-host, and producer of Charlottesville's top podcast, the I Love CVille Show.
Yep.
Live the good life. Ladies and gentlemen, it's good to have you here. It's good to be back from the holidays. I hope your Thanksgiving was good.
It was. I hope yours was
wish
as well.
it was, thank you. I wish the 400 employees nothing but the best here.
Yeah,
I understand that they are on a foundation of fragility right now as they question their job status.
Yeah,
another company that has its employees questioning their job status is Miss Rose Restaurant in Stanton, that lower third on screen. It's not every day that you have a restaurant and bakery that's been in operation for 78 plus years.
Yeah.
And Miss Rose Restaurant and Bakery in Stanton has been in operation for 78 plus years. That makes you an icon. That makes you an institution. Mm-hmm. They announced today on social media, and tip of the cap again to Ginny Hu for putting this on my radar, that they are going to close on December 24th. They cite health issues with ownership. Mm-hmm. And in the comments section, and you can find it on Miss Rose Family Restaurant on Facebook, where they have a massive social media following. In the comments section, get your popcorn ready, pop your popcorn and read the comments, because the employees themselves are finding out from this social media post that was posted about 5 hours ago that they no longer have a job on Christmas Eve.
That's rough.
And the owners are like, we will notify you, and we're going to notify you when you came to work. Okay. I have a feeling Judah's going to go to bat for the employees. As a result of Judah going to bat for the employees, and remember, Judah worked a 12-hour shift at Klockner Pentaplast. It was hard work. It started snowing. Then he ghosted his employer and the temp agency that put him there. True story. You just said that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to bat for the employer and I guess the temp agency who has to deal with that from employees and from temps by saying, if you give the employees in a food and beverage business too much notice, you are going to deal with people not going to work, people driving their Nissans out to a packaging plastic plant and failing to arrive to that plant ever again because of a little snow. You're going to deal with people stealing from you. You're going to deal with people being rude to your customers, looking to cheat the restaurant every way possible. There's a reason in the food and beverage business, signage is put on a door for employees, and that's how they often find out that the restaurant is closing, because the restaurant is concerned with the lack of loyalty with staff, the flighty nature of staff, and the fact that it's an extremely transient business, food and beverage, front of the house and back of the house. Regardless, 78 years in business, some of these employees have been with them for a very long time. I would hope the longest standing employees, the ones with the most term and tenure, were given some kind of notification outside of this Facebook post, which looks like it was typed on a typewriter on a piece of paper, and then they took a photo of the Facebook post and put of the letter on the typewriter and snapped it and posted on their Facebook page.
Wow.
78 years closing. Another example of the headwinds of food and beverage. Offer some commentary that's in support of the staff, because I know that's where you're going to go. The Christmas Eve closing sucks.
The Christmas Eve closing sucks. Finding out that whatever money you potentially already spent on your kids is now going to be needed to potentially, keep your household afloat for however long it takes to relocate, to find a new job. But you made a lot of great points, and this is just, I think, one of those sad state of affairs that there's not really anything to be done about.
Look, we have a client and Great Harvest Bread Company. The owners of Great Harvest Bread Company, my clients, Chris and Tracy Crowley, we helped them buy the business. They are salt of the earth, hardworking people that have already infused tremendous life into Great Harvest Bread Company. Chris and Tracy Crowley are on the cusp of opening a second location. We call it a spoke. I help them find this spoke, handle the lease, and help them transition to a second location on the downtown mall. The signage is literally going up today. Yep. Conan Owen stopped by our studio. Great way to plug him on screen. Sir Speedy of Central Virginia. Any signage needs you need done, Conan Owen and Sir Speedy of Central Virginia are who you contact. They do the signage for our firm, the Miller Organization, for our tenant portfolio, which is 24 strong, and all our clients. Because the signage is going up now, he grabbed the keys for the space. I can talk about it. This is breaking news. Great Harvest Bread Company and Woodard Plaza, that's their primary bakery, is opening a spoke on the downtown mall. I help negotiate this deal in the old Wells Fargo Wachovia ATM space. It's a fantastic spot for a spoke. It's a similar footprint to a farmer's market footprint, larger, slightly larger. It's covered and enclosed from the elements. You can do a coffee cart. You can go to-go food, to-go sandwiches, grab-and-go coffee, and you're doing it at the entrance to an 8-story building and dead center of the downtown mall, and one of the most strategic and intelligent lease setups ever done in downtown Charlottesville. Proud to be a part of this deal. Chris and Tracy Crowley, I've seen them firsthand since they've purchased Great Harvest. The hours you have to work when you're running a bakery. You thought the 12-hour shift was challenging at Klockner Penaplas when you work there one day while driving your white Nissan to Gordonsville and driving home in a blizzard. Chris and Tracy are showing up to work 2:33 in the morning to bake the stuff, to bake the goods. They're going home at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. And they're getting up and doing it again. They're doing it again. They're doing it again. One of the most challenging food and beverage businesses, period, is a bakery. To be a baker, it's a labor of love.
No doubt.
Okay? There are much easier ways to pursue a dollar than getting in the bakery business. You're doing this because it's a labor of love. And Tracy loves baking, and she's extremely talented at doing it. I can't wait to see what they do with this spoke on the downtown mall. I feel for the employees at Miss Rose Restaurant.
No doubt. Losing
your job weeks, if not the day before Christmas, is saddening. And it's challenging to rebound into a new position.
It's a punch in the gut.
It's a punch in the gut. Regardless, when a 78-year Stantonian institution announces on December 1 that it's closing its doors on December 24th, it shows you the headwinds that small business are facing right now. And the true headwinds for small business, my friends, will be January, February, and March. A 90-day window where the spending dries up because bills come due from Christmas and the holidays. Miss Rose closing on December 24th of this year after 78 plus years of serving the greater Stanton area. Philip Dow, the mayor of Scottsville, says Rose is an icon. It's sad. Vanessa Parkhill, her photo on screen, Philip's photo on screen. Vanessa says, Judah, nurses pull those 12-hour shifts all the time at hospitals, and they cannot even park on site at UVA. They have to take a shuttle to and from the stadium to work those 12-hour shifts. Mm-hmm. Now you're enjoying McAllen 12 on a Monday while producing the water cooler of content and conversation for Charlottesville, Albemarle County, and Central Virginia. A rite of passage, if you may. Holly Foster, another thank you for the McAllen 12. Next headline, Judah Whitcire, what do you got?
Next we have lots of nonprofits.
Dude, this number boggles my mind.
Yeah.
This is a conversation starter for you viewers and listeners. There's 700 plus nonprofits in Albemarle County, in Charlottesville. In the Albemarle County and Charlottesville area, let's use the word area, okay? Yeah. There's 700 plus nonprofits, ladies and gentlemen. Is there a source to cite there, the 700 plus?
Yes, we are looking at an article from CVille right now. Hundreds of nonprofits preparing for what is called Giving Tuesday, all hoping for funding to keep their organizations running. Obviously, I think donations are in thinner supply this year.
Understatement.
Due to a rough economy.
Tariffs.
Yeah.
Due to credit card debt, rising credit card debt, due to the escalating cost of housing, the escalating cost of rents, the escalating cost of groceries, the escalating cost of fuel, everything. The student loan debt that Americans are carrying, mm-hmm. the headwinds associated with tariffs. I mean, goodness gracious. Yeah. Stretching the dollar is an understatement.
Yeah.
An absolute understatement. I saw a meme circulating. John Blair, your comments coming up. I saw a meme circulating on social media. 1950s, 1960s, family of 4, family of 5. One parent was working. The other parent stayed at home. That one parent's salary covered a very nice home and 2 cars, extracurricular activities, and a way to send the kids to college. Now, no way, dog. No way, Jose.
Yeah.
John Blair's face on screen. Miss Rose restaurant closing is crushing to me. When I was a law student in Charlottesville, I would drive over to Stanton during exam time and just study there in a corner with coffee and chocolate pie. On another note, JMU's head football coach literally just announced he's leaving to take the UCLA job. Rob Neal, is that true? John Blair's breaking news on the show. I did not see that. Is that true? I'm going to ESPN right now. The JMU head coach is taking the UCLA job?
Sunny California.
Is that true, Judah? I'm not downing John Blair. John Blair's never led me wrong. Rob Neal. Oh my gosh. Bob Chesney, the head coach of James Madison football, is reportedly being hired by UCLA to be their new head coach. Wow. The deal is expected to be finalized after JMU's Sun Belt Championship game. Chesney led JMU to an 11-1 record. CBS Sports is confirming, this is minutes ago, that the JMU head football coach, this is crazy, is heading to UCLA to lead the Bruins and take a Power 4 job, the first of his career. Somewhere, one of my favorite viewers and listeners, Rob Neal, if you're watching this program, is drowning his sorrows, I think, in something cold. James Madison owed Chesney an $833,495 salary for the 2025 season, according to USA Today. But $140,000 of that was set aside as a now nullified retention bonus. He will be making multi-millions as head coach of the Bruins. Wild time for college football. Lane Kiffin stuck it where the sun don't shine to Ole Miss and jettisoned to Baton Rouge to be the head coach of LSU. You got a head coach leaving for the Swamp in Florida to coach the Gators in Gainesville. You got James Franklin getting fired at Penn State to resurface at Virginia Tech. You got your boy, the LSU head coach, having a buyout of tens of millions of dollars. Wasn't it like $70 million plus buyout for Kelly, the former Notre Dame coach that got ousted at LSU? It is a wild time we live in.
No doubt.
But it's favored UVA. With this $30 million salary, this roster, it's got them in the ACC championship. If there wasn't a pay-for-play scenario, UVA wouldn't be this good. One of the reasons UVA is this good is because its alumni base is so wealthy that it can pay $30 million for a football team.
Yeah.
If it was a merit-based system where it was about Jimmys and Joes and running and tackling and scoring and not money, there's no way UVA would be in the ACC championship. That's the reality, ladies and gentlemen, and we all know it. Next headline. What do you got, Judah Wickhauer?
Next up is reasons why Redditors have moved away from CVille.
I can't wait to have fun with this one. I think I'm going to get lambasted on Reddit for some of my comments here, which is nothing new. I embrace the friction with the Charlottesville subreddit. Judah, this is your headline. Can you rattle off some of the reasons?
Yeah.
Redditors have posted on the Charlottesville subreddit. Reddit, if you don't know, viewers and listeners, is basically an anonymous, social media, board where you can post topics, ask questions, and have crowdsource comments and responses to it. The anonymity makes it dynamic, entertaining, but also brings out the absolute dregs of society.
In some places.
Okay, and how about the place where they were trying to oust or dox small business owners based on political affiliation and then do a boycott campaign of those small businesses?
If you think that was confined to Reddit, though.
What are the reasons the subredditors left for leaving Charlottesville?
Let's see. We've got, after being personally victimized by Water Street Garage's parking system, I still have PTSD from, quote-unquote, take the ticket.
Water Street parking garage is pretty rough. In fact, I would say many of the parking lots or parking garages around the area are pretty miserable.
Yeah,
if you
no
have
doubt.
to park in one, I suggest the Market Street garage. Mm-hmm. I do not suggest some of these other parking lots that are run by that third-party company that charge you a full day's parking if you don't check out, if you forget to check out of the lot.
Yeah.
That's bogus. Mm-hmm. That's trickeration. That's borderline criminal.
Yeah.
What are some other reasons the Redditors have pieced out of Charlottesville?
Here's a good one. This person, Cheese Bro,
Holly
says,
Foster, absolutely we did. Go ahead.
Says he got bit by a rabid hobo on the downtown mall and died.
That happened to me too. I just didn't die. Thank God for Holly Foster's McAllen 12. Which are the rabid hobos? Some of them I like. Some of them are just extremely concerning. I like the guy from Baton Rouge that carries the cane that you can't understand what he's saying.
He's just laughing and smiling.
What did you say? He speaks Creole? The older gentleman that's like has a Creole accent. He's laughing and smiling. Most of the time, I think he's like high as a kite.
Probably.
Okay, like floating on cloud nine. Oftentimes, he's sitting in the alleyway behind our building. Mm-hmm. Our building backs up to the Nook.
Yeah.
He's sitting on a dumpster, just chilling on the dumpster as I walk out to go to the post office or a hot lap around the downtown mall. He's a great guy. I enjoy his company. I don't especially enjoy encountering loud clapping man.
No.
I find him to be obnoxious and aggressive.
He was never one of my favorites.
He's extremely intimidating.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like the gentleman that camps out by Draft Tap Room that is,
sleeping in the doorway?
Sleeping in the doorway.
Yeah. He's a bit
intimidating, aggressive.
Aggressive, definitely.
Yeah. He's 37 cents short of $1. Okay, and I'm not talking about in the wallet. Okay, mm-hmm. There's the gentleman that has the massive, huge feet that wears the sandals in the middle of winter clearly that is having has a diabetes problem. His feet are so swollen he can't put them in shoes.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about? The large white guy that hangs around CVS.
I'm sure I've seen him.
How about the guy that
I know who you're talking about.
How about the guy that on Thursday or Friday or Saturday night chooses to bang on paint buckets with sticks that he finds from the woods as if he's playing easygoing music while people are trying to enjoy a $300 a head dinner at Fleury or a $100 a head dinner at Petit Pois or Zocalo?
Yeah.
I've often seen people at Zocalo or Petit Pois literally get up from their Friday night dinner and give the guy $50 and ask him to leave and stop playing his bucket and stick music.
It's working, I guess.
Oh, you think his plan is to annoy to the point of getting the big tip and then he leaves?
He's sure not getting $50 tips from people just walking by.
Definitely is not. He definitely is not. But we do know this. There are 700 plus nonprofits in this area that are supporting this community and supporting a lot of these folks.
Yeah.
And one of them's the Haven. And I'll leave it at that. What are some other reasons the Redditors have pieced out of Charlottesville?
Lack of bagel shops?
Is that a zing at?
Could be.
Because they don't toast the bagels?
You didn't explain, but
My wife doesn't like Bodo's either.
But he got a response that was, if only Bodo's was enough to make me stay. The next good one was only 14 chicken dinner options.
We've dubbed it the Cock Block. It is not Fried Chicken Alley. Do not call it Fried Chicken Alley. It's called the Cock Block. Okay, it's called the Cock Block. The best one of them all, I still stand by Wayside as the best one of them all. You disagree?
It's been a while since I've had
Wayside's very good.
They were good. I was surprised. We drove by there the other night and they were closed. It was like 7, 8 o'clock.
It's tough to staff. What are some other reasons from Reddit?
Nowhere to buy a button-down or wool dress slacks.
What? Because Eljo's closed?
I guess.
There's plenty of places to buy a button-down or wool dress slacks. Ginny Who watching the program.
Potentially right on the downtown mall.
Yeah, there's two of them on the downtown mall.
The reality that downtown is the only good spot.
I think downtown's my favorite spot, but West Main Street's a great spot. The Corner's a great spot. Ivy's a great spot. Selvage is taken off.
Yeah.
Stonefield's a great spot. Barracks is a good spot. The Roback had hundreds of people for the grand opening. I'm hearing Peter Chang's is opening in a new location.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Word on the street is Peter Chang's is opening a new location.
Interesting.
Ginny Who's watching the show. Let's get her photo on screen. Ginny Who. She says, I know people complain about Twitter, but I steer clear of Reddit. That site is a cesspool. She also says, I've rarely been there when there hasn't been a wait for a table. And she's talking about Rose Restaurant.
And here, for anybody that's been on the Charlottesville subreddit, you know that this is a constant struggle. The last of the reasons people have left Charlottesville, and potentially, I don't know if it's my favorite, but no Ethiopian food.
That's the insider joke for the Charlottesville subreddit.
Yeah.
Deep Throat watching the program. He says this, number one in the family, Deep Throat. Happy holidays, Deep Throat. It was good to see you yesterday. I would not say this necessarily is because Klockner was doing terribly. This was a private equity take private of a public company. Strategic Value Partners. Just seems like Strategic Value Partners overpaid and ran out of runway on the funding. Deep Throat, do you think the 400 employed at the Gordonsville headquarters have to worry about losing their job? Yes or no? That's what I'm most concerned about with this story. 400 employed at the Gordonsville headquarters. Do they risk losing their job, getting pink slipped? And the dreaded this scenario. You're not going to lose your job, but we're going to reposition and restructure the company, and you now have a new job in Buenos Aires.
Right.
or Argentina.
That's what I was thinking. If they're not firing the 400 people,
And that's how they get people to quit.
but
They
yeah,
get them to quit without paying you're fired. You get the, what is it called when you get fired?
severance.
The severance, yeah. Oh, you're no longer working at Gordonsville. We understand that your kids go to school there. We understand you own a home there. We understand this is where your life is. But we have a job for you, and that job's going to be in Poland. That job is going to be in India. That job's going to be in the Czech Republic. Go. We have a job. You don't like this? Well, if you don't like this, I guess you can quit.
I might go to Poland or the Czech Republic.
You hate the cold.
I don't think I'd.
You don't even like 40 degree, 50 degree weather. Right now, you are wearing a button-down shirt, a cardigan, and a jacket, and you walked in with an overcoat on this.
Do you know anything about either of those places?
You don't think Poland and the Czech Republic is colder than Charlottesville on average?
I couldn't tell you.
I would say the answer is yes, without knowing anything about those two places. That's the instinct of a prop better. Would you like to make a prop bet on average temperature and which one gets lower, Charlottesville, Poland, or the Czech Republic?
No.
One of our prop bets is about to come to fruition. Yeah. Who's the next mayor of Charlottesville, Virginia? You have Natalie Oshrin. I have Michael Payne. I think we're both in agreement that Keith Smith's going to lose yet another bet. He has Juan Diego Wade on a second term. If Juan Diego Wade is the mayor for a second term, I'm going to scream. Natalie Oshrin would not disappoint me. Michael Payne, I think, deserves it. Natalie Oshrin is in the middle of her first term. Michael Payne in the middle of his second term. And Payne has very much matured as a man, as city councilor, moving out of his parents' basement. Judah, this is where you chastise me. He used to live in his parents' basement.
So you've said
to
many times.
Now out of his parents' basement. Deep Throat says the company still has positive earnings. There is DIP financing. Existing financing was secured. So presumably the fact that they were going the DIP route means there is some value to the collateral, i.e. the factory. So I suspect it may stay open. Time will tell. All right. That is the show. Do we have anything? We should give some props to Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes. If you have a custom hardscape plan for your home or your office, there's one company you call, and it's Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes. They will take your plan or your vision and make it a reality. And the return on investment for Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes and a hardscape is more than just money, ladies and gentlemen. It is legitimately return on experience. We're back in the saddle tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. with the Jerry and Jerry Show. For Judah Wickhauer, I'm Jerry Miller.